right now on 5 on your side at 10.
Now, on the first team tracking rain and eventually snow that spreads into St. Louis Tuesday night into Wednesday, where most of the snow will fall and the impacts it brings.
Cannabis conflict. Tonight, the fight between one municipality and the county over a pot of tax dollars. First tonight, car thieves target parking lots at 2 new hotspots in Midtown.
I think they were specifically looking for guns.
The scary moment for police investigating one of those crimes. Those officers came under gunfire. Good evening, I'm Mike Bush. Ann Allred has the night off. That gunfire happened late last night as they were investigating car break-ins outside the city foundry. Those break-ins happened just 24 hours after several customers at the new Armory STL reported break-ins of their cars. Our Laura Barczewski joins us live. She talked with one victim who caught the thief on camera.
Mike, the man I spoke with, says he believes the thieves were only looking for guns and were in and out of his truck in a matter of minutes. And hopefully, he says they hope they'll finally be caught. That's the sound of glass breaking in this pickup truck Friday night. The owner wants to remain anonymous for his own safety. He says he was out with his wife and friends at the Armory, the new Midtown hotspot, when this happened.
So when I came to my truck, I saw glass all around it, even on the driver's side, thinking that, first thing I thought my windows are shattered, but then I realized only the passenger window was shattered. It was glass from cars that were parked previous around me.
He says police told him that night when the officer took a 5-minute break, 7 vehicles were hit, including his truck.
They did take a gun, and we were talking with other people that got hit down there. Everybody were in the same opinion. We thought that they were searching just for guns because there was nothing else to take. They didn't take the dash camera. They didn't take a $400 charger that was inside the car. They even left $200 bills in the glove compartment. They just grabbed the gun and took off.
The Armory STL team said in a statement in response, "The safety of our customers is our primary focus. We've incorporated numerous safety measures, including the installation of metal detectors at all entry points, 24/7 video monitoring of all parking lots, additional parking lot lighting and fencing, and armed police patrols in all parking lots." St. Louis police say more car break-ins happened across Interstate 64 at the city foundry Saturday night. Around 10 o'clock, 2 armed teenagers and another minor were taken into custody. That's when a white Honda Accord sped away down Vandeventer, firing shots at the suspects and the officers. On Sunday, police say they responded to Aldine Avenue in North City in connection to the incident at the city foundry. A suspect was taken into custody. It's unclear if break-ins at both Midtown businesses are connected, but the victim hopes no one else has to go through this.
Well, definitely not going again down there with my car. It will be Uber next time. Yeah, it is stressful.
Now, the city foundry also made a statement saying, in part, the safety of their guests is their top priority. They're grateful no one was injured and appreciate the quick response from police. And police say the teens they arrested last night were released to their parents at the direction of the juvenile court. Reporting in St. Louis, Laura Barczewski, 5 on your side.
Well, weather-wise, all clear across St. Louis tonight. Some light snow fell early this morning for some, but our Weather First team is already looking ahead to a better chance of snow later this week. Let's get straight over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell.
Probably the best chance of snow we've seen all winter, and maybe the best chance we get at it for the rest of this winter. The problem is, where's the cold air? We're having a problem with cold air. As you well know, it hasn't been all that cold. Right now in St. Louis, temperatures still above freezing in the mid-30s, lots of clouds. Science Center's looking cool tonight, but it's not cold. You have some scattered showers and spritzes in southern portions of Missouri, but all eyes are focused on the energy out west. This is the system spinning over the Four Corners region that's going to head our way. And as it develops starting tomorrow and in through the next couple of days, it will spread rain and snow across the middle part of the country. And the area we're concerned about for snow is going to arrive on our doorstep as we head towards early Wednesday morning. And with that Wednesday morning, we do expect to see some sloppy driving conditions. So a winter storm watch has been issued for the St. Louis area, basically along and south of 70 in Illinois and along and south of 44 in Missouri. That's for later Tuesday into Wednesday morning. We'll see you in a few minutes. We'll give you some snow totals, Mike.
All right, Scott, thanks. Well, we're learning more tonight about a deadly attack on a Lunar New Year celebration in Southern California that left 10 people dead and another 10 injured. Tonight, the suspect is dead. Police found the 72-year-old man dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound inside a van about 30 minutes away from the shooting in Monterey Park. Right now, the investigation is still ongoing, but the big question is what motivated this man to carry out such a heinous act.
You've been asking me about motive. We still are not clear on the motive. The investigation continues, and that is something we are all extremely, we want to know. We want to know how something like this, something this awful can happen.
Police say the suspect in last night's mass shooting was Asian, but the violence comes as anti-Asian hate crime fears rise. News of the shooting in California weighed heavy on Lunar New Year celebrations here in the St. Louis area. And that includes a lion dance at the Olive Supermarket in University City this morning.
My heart go out to the families. It's a lot of things. It's just make no sense. Whatever the motivation is.
A lion dance is a tradition to bring prosperity and good luck in the new year. And tonight we're also hearing from our Today in St. Louis anchor, Michelle Lee. You know, she founded the Very Asian Foundation after she received a hateful voicemail from a viewer. Michelle talked about the importance of the holiday and the impact of the tragedy on the Asian American Pacific Islander community.
I hope no one is canceling their, at least in St. Louis, canceling their Lunar New Year celebrations. I hope people still get together because it is very tragic and sad and can be very heavy to kind of take in the violence that we see across this country and across the world. But that doesn't mean that we can't live our lives and celebrate who we are at the same time.
There are resources available for the AAPI community. Just text AAPI to 314-425-5355 and we'll send you the full list to your phone. Tonight, we're still waiting to learn the identity of the body recovered from Bob Kramer's marionettes in the Central West End. The puppet theater and studio was destroyed by a massive fire Friday night. It was a St. Louis staple for more than 50 years. Another person was rescued from the burning building. The cause is still under investigation. Hundreds of Missouri medical marijuana shops are preparing to start selling recreational pot 2 weeks from tomorrow. And local governments are preparing to start taxing it too. Our political editor, Mark Maxwell, is here to tell us about a dispute in St. Louis County on which government will get to collect those taxes. Mark?
Mike, two pot shops sit in disputed territory. Right now, they're in St. Louis County, but just outside Manchester city limits, where officials want to expand and rope in that revenue. But County Executive Sam Page feels the city is angling for a cannabis cash grab.
Dr. Page, let the work of the Boundary Commission be completed.
Manchester Mayor Mike Clement took issue with last-minute maneuvers from County Executive Sam Page, who intervened to try and jam up a process to expand city limits to include these two marijuana shops that sit just outside the current city boundaries.
He had hopes that if he fired them, he could put two new members on and really overturn the initial vote.
Two members of the Boundary Commission voted to greenlight the annexation, but their terms had expired, prompting Page to try and replace them with new picks. If Page blocks the city's expansion, the county would keep the rights to collect a 3% sales tax from all marijuana sold in unincorporated St. Louis County. A spokesman for Page says that's the real intent behind the annexation efforts, a money grab, plain and simple.
To somehow accuse us of seeking two very small dispensaries is kind of foolish. Really, what do you think those two are going to generate? Even if they did have a 3% tax, a couple $1,000s a year in sales tax revenue, there's nothing there.
We posed that question to marijuana industry expert John Payne.
You know, that comes out to something like $115,000 per dispensary in new revenues.
Payne estimates once the pot shops get up and running, they'll eventually triple their current sales volume.
In that case, it would be closer to $150,000 per location on a 3% local tax.
As for people who shop in the area,
in the end, we really don't care where the tax money goes as long as it's a good thing.
Todd Maroth says he waited for generations to watch government bring marijuana into the legal marketplace.
Of course, we'd like for it to go to a school or anything to help the community, not to be fought over.
A showdown is scheduled for Tuesday night where the county council could push Page's picks through or let them languish and allow the city of Manchester to move forward with its plans to expand. In the end, voters will still get the final say on whether to add a 3% local sales tax to marijuana.
Mark, thanks. And St. Charles County voters will decide on an additional 3% sales tax on recreational marijuana. The county council voted Friday to put the measure on the April 4th ballot. A brief but lasting miracle.
Right then and there, I knew that was like a moment that I had to really kind of like soak in.
A local mother battling terminal cancer wakes up one day pain-free. How her husband is turning that unforgettable day into a lasting legacy.
Cold air's been hard to come by this month. It's a big factor in our snowfall forecast and the type of snow that falls Tuesday night into Wednesday. What the latest trends are showing in 7 minutes.
No one can explain it. A local woman in terrible pain with terminal cancer wakes up one day pain-free. Her husband says it was a great day for the family. And in tonight's Making a Difference report, how he's now giving days like that to other families dealing with cancer. It's another special delivery from the FedEx of kindness. Tom Wiley is dropping off a care package for a patient with terminal cancer.
It's my understanding that he loves smoothies and he's actually been drinking a lot of them, so we told him to just pick whatever he wanted off the menu. Also got the complete Marvel encyclopedia.
Spreading sunshine is Wiley's life's work.
Got you some Black Panther pajamas too.
It's his way of lifting the darkness. He describes his wife Laura as the love of his life and a lover of life. But in 2014, she was diagnosed with terminal cancer.
You're the one that's supposed to be strong and be the rock and just, that expected to take care of everything, but, half the time you're kind of a mess inside.
When the cancer spread to her bones, she was in a lot of pain and didn't get out of bed. Then something amazing happened.
On December 5th of 2015, she woke up completely pain-free. And because of that, we just had an amazing day.
Tom woke up that morning to the smell of pancakes. For the first time in a long time, Laura was cooking breakfast. Later, he heard his 2 kids making a racket in the living room.
And I went up there, and there they were actually dancing, all of them, all 3 of them, just having the time of their life. Right then and there, I knew that was like a moment that I had to really kind of like soak in and treasure, because that just didn't happen.
And sadly, December 5th didn't happen again. A short time later, Laura passed away.
So this is how we planned for the families.
Her death turned Tom in a new direction. The advertising and marketing executive quit his job to start a nonprofit called the December 5th Fund.
Can you, when you get a chance...
The goal, to give families going through cancer their own December 5th.
Pudding's for you.
It was exactly what the Lorenz family needed when their young son Thomas was diagnosed with leukemia.
All right, ready? We're passing the conveyor belts. Put your dice
We
back.
had put our minds into survival mode and hadn't really given any time to fun and family time that we sorely miss.
I'll take a 10 pour.
Tom Wiley's mission is to give families a day without worry. On that day, you might see an army of volunteers doing chores around the house.
Yay! 39 plates!
The Lorenz family was sent to a restaurant for breakfast, then a Like to help the December 5th Fund, we can link you to their website when you go to this story on KSDK.com. And a reminder, we get our stories from you. If you know someone inspiring or making a difference for others, just send me an email at mbush@ksdk.com. A celebration tonight at the Forest Park Golf Course. The St. Louis County NAACP installed its newly elected officers. The evening also celebrated the successes of the last year and served as a kickoff for this year's initiatives. All right, let's get back to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell talking about that snow heading to St. Louis later this week.
Yes, it is, Mike. You know, if this were just a typical winter when we had average temperatures, we'd be looking at potentially a really big snow. But as it is, it's probably going to snow pretty hard for a few hours, but it's going to be a heavy, wet snow and not going to amount to as much as the potential would normally be. Right now out at Lambert, no big problems getting in and out of St. Louis, despite the fact that today we've had some snowflakes. We have had some raindrops as well, but haven't seen a report of any measurable snow officially from St. Louis today. So far this month, just a trace, and we're still at 37 degrees right now. So overnight, you've got the clouds. They're still here early tomorrow morning, but let's just get Monday out of the way, okay? Temperatures are going back into the low and mid 40s. By the afternoon hours, much brighter. Here are those spot showers that are down to the south, maybe a flurry in there, but more likely it's liquid. They came through St. Louis, and some of us saw enough this evening just to get the road a little wet. Now, here's our system out west. It is spinning in the upper levels of the atmosphere. This is what's going to cause us problems. And when we see this traditionally, you've got a lot of energy here. This is an upper level system that's really impressive. And normally we see this and the weather people really get excited. Okay? Very impressive system. It's going to pull out and head our way, right? We're not as excited as we could otherwise be. Here's your winter storm watch. Yes, St. Louis is included in it. They'll revise that and update it tomorrow with either advisories or perhaps winter storm warnings. Here's the lowdown. As we head through Tuesday evening, we're in the 40s Tuesday, 45 for the high. This will start as rain probably around 9 or 10 o'clock Tuesday night. After midnight, it'll quickly change over to snow. A lot of dark blue painted here down over the Ozarks. Likely to see heavy, wet snow falling in this area just south and southeast of St. Louis into early on Wednesday morning. While it's falling, it's going to stick. It'll come down faster than it can melt, even though temperatures will be around or perhaps even a degree above freezing. By 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, we're starting to see it push on off to the east, and you're left at that point with just snow showers. This is the American model, the computer ensembles, a whole bunch of models kind of averaged out. You kind of get the gist where the heaviest snow would be. We think it's going to be down here over the Ozarks. We'll go with 4 to 7 inches right now. Metro area, 2 to 4, maybe 3 to 5 on the south side of the metro area. The focus is going to be overnight Tuesday after midnight and into Wednesday morning. Heavy, wet snow, temperatures near freezing. Wednesday morning's commute is going to be quite sloppy. That is your weather alert day. And really, it's through about noon. And then after that, we're back above freezing into the mid-30s Wednesday afternoon. So that means your slushy conditions will tend to fade and just wet roads. Road crews, once it stops snowing, Mike, will be able to get a good handle on the situation because temperatures aren't going to be that cold.
That's, I guess that's good news for some. Others wanted to see a little snow.
Some of the teachers, some of the kids want a snow day. And, you know, it's kind of a waste of a good storm system when you can't get good snow.
All right, Scott, thanks. Well, 50 years since the landmark ruling Roe v. Wade, tonight the renewed battle over abortion rights in America. Thousands of abortion rights activists rallied across the country today to mark the 50th anniversary of Roe v. Wade. This was the march in Washington, D.C., where the annual National March for Life rally took place just 2 days ago. Here in St. Louis, the Bigger Than Roe march took place in Forest Park. The anniversary comes just a few months after the Supreme Court overturned the landmark legislation. The decision led to abortion bans in 14 states, including Missouri. Now groups on both sides of the issue are trying to navigate a post-Roe world. Americans United just filed a lawsuit with a group of religious leaders challenging Missouri's abortion ban. Their group, Coalition Life, is focusing on helping women in crisis pregnancies and putting resources into states like Illinois, where abortions are still legal.
It's pretty devastating that those freedoms aren't available. And let's be honest, who are they not available to the most? I mean, they're not available the most to folks who are marginalized.
We don't look backwards, we look forwards. And when we look forwards to what we need to do next, there's so much work ahead of us. The women here in Missouri, about 9,000 of them per year are still leaving the state to go and get abortions elsewhere.
Representative Cori Bush released a statement today saying as a congresswoman, mother, pastor, and someone who has had abortions, she will never stop fighting for reproductive rights. Well, there's a new line of candy for your sweetheart this Valentine's Day. And as Chandler Bing would say, could it be any sweeter? Candy maker Brock's is out with a new line of conversation hearts for Valentine's Day this year. It's inspired by the classic sitcom Friends. The hearts feature 26 popular phrases from the show, like how you doing, pivot, on a break, and lobster. They come in new flavors like watermelon, strawberry, blueberry, pineapple, cherry, and orange. And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. Start your day with Today in St. Louis beginning at 4 a.m. Now here's Frank Cusimano with Sports Plus.